Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Maps come with me. No. When do we start?
Welcome back to the show. The show where we talk about comics and movies.
Yes.
And TV.
Whoa, wait.
The microphone was working.
Ah, there we go. Hello.
This is the second
here now.
podcast I've done tonight. I know that thing was working.
I'm here. I've joined you now.
I accidentally switch it off.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, that's better. I don't know. I don't know what I have much.
Greetings. There's a big snowstorm on the way.
It's always that with you.
Well,
It's all about weather.
it's not always all about weather. There's sports. I'm like your news, just like your news. I can tell you all about the world.
That
and
you
things.
can't trust fake news.
Then come to me for the realest takes of them all.
The one where you take other people's news and pass it off as your own. Actually, that's what the first quarter of the show is.
That's exactly what you do on a weekly basis.
I go to the internet. I don't break any news.
Although you said you had some new news right here moments
did.
before the...
I guess we can, if we just want to skip it all and just jump into it.
Time out. Are you open on Martin Luther King Day?
I don't know. When's that?
Monday.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Better plan it.
I guess we'll see. I don't know.
All right, there we go. Mystery. Just show up to the shop. Maybe open, might not.
I usually end up taking those Monday holidays off.
It's like Schrodinger's shop. You're not going to know if it's open until you show up.
I'll announce it because usually they're school holidays. So I usually take off school holidays because I get to spend the day with my wife.
Oh, that's fair.
I've seen people they're like, why is this one? I'm like, because I don't get real time off.
There's no such thing as time off in your world, is there?
Not really.
Yeah, well, fair.
I guess we can get into the news because I don't want to forget about this thing that just happened, so I haven't written it down.
To the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
This is interesting. Very interesting, very big, but if you lived through the 90s and the 2000s, you've heard this news before. I almost want a drum roll here. It's just the newest version of this news.
Reebok pumps are coming back?
No.
Oh.
Isn't it weird what shoes survive from the 90s? Like Air Jordans will never die.
Oh, yeah. They will never die.
Converse, it goes back like way
Converse
further.
is
They're
still
like
a
70s.
That was a
and
topic of
beyond.
conversation at basketball practice tonight.
Don't wear them when you're exercising. Terrible for your feet.
No, they're made of canvas. Although we're thinking about doing Team Chuck Taylors to like travel in.
Okay.
But anyway.
Ghostbusters 3
Really?
is back again.
Is it like back, or is it just rumored to be back?
Supposedly, it's been greenlit and ready to go with a release date for 2020.
All right. Perfect.
This will be ignoring the 2016 movie entirely, just being a sequel to the first two.
Okay.
No word on who the stars will be, but the co-writer and director is very interesting.
Is it Harold Ramis?
No.
Oh.
Amazingly enough.
Well, I know he's dead, but I wonder if there was a script kicking around who's going to get a credit.
Actually, before I...
Is it Reitman?
Reitman Jr.
Really?
His son.
How's that for a guess?
I mean,
Logical.
it was a short list.
Yeah.
Jason Reitman, son of Ivan Reitman, a director in his own right. He just had a movie a couple months ago that I want to see, The Front Runner. It was the one with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yeah. About politics and stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm aware slightly of a thing. But yeah, Ghostbusters 3 is happening.
All right.
But I mean, we survived so many of those rumors for so long. There was so many false starts. First, when they were all still alive, Mario was in, then he was out. He's like, I'll be in it if I die in the first 10 minutes. So then he's like, I refuse to be in it unless...
Ernie Hudson?
Thanks. I wanted to say Ernie Johnson. Wrong thing.
No.
Ernie Hudson gets an equal role to everyone else.
And equal pay.
I have no idea what the pay difference was back
No.
then. I'm sure he got the least.
Significant.
Because everyone else was a name.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't know. They were in, they were out. Then they all cameoed in that movie that I didn't see. It's supposed to be pretty terrible.
The one with like,
The reboot.
oh yeah, with all like the SNL people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
If you do want a fun Ghostbusters sequel, though, go back to the 2009 video game on PlayStation 3 and Xbox.
Yeah? Was that fun?
One, it's a lot of fun, but it was co-written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis.
Really?
And they all do their voices. And the animations are so fun in that. It's totally a sequel to Ghostbusters 2. It's great. It's real short, too. It's only like 8-9 hours.
Oh, very, very beatable.
Yeah, and especially when you're dealing with maybe an hour and a half of animation. It's a solid game. And a real sequel to Ghostbusters. I mean, with all them involved with it. Even they got Murray back.
Wow.
I mean, sure, every line he read was flat as hell, but he was still there.
Well, he was there.
And he cameoed in that 2016 one. I watched the cameos on YouTube. He died. They killed him.
Yeah, but also Dan Aykroyd was a cab driver, I believe.
Yeah, he was in that. Ernie Hudson was in it. I think Sigourney Weaver was in it, I think. I don't
Dan
remember.
Aykroyd was also in Casper, the Friendly Ghost, as a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, in a mustache.
Yes.
No Rick Moranis in it.
No.
He's starting to come out of retirement of hair. I think he did something
Rick Moranis, yeah.
There's something he did for like SCTV last year.
They
if I
did
remember right.
what is the name of that comedy troupe? Like Second City Players, something like that.
Yeah, the SCTV people.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, after his wife died, he kind of just said, I'm going to raise my kids.
I have enough money. I don't need to do this.
And he was really...
Which is fair.
And that's like almost arguably when he was at his biggest, too, Rick Moranis. It was interesting because I was actually just watching some YouTube videos about him like a month ago.
Coming high off of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or maybe They Shrunk Us, I don't
Honey,
remember.
I Blew Up the Kids.
Is that the third one?
Maybe, something like that.
I definitely saw the first two.
Those were cool.
I haven't seen them in 20 years.
I remember being petrified by the ant.
I remember the ant looking really fake.
Yes, but when you were really young, you get petrified by that.
Sure. But yeah, Ghostbusters 3 is back again. So back that it's ignoring an entire reboot. That's happened before, then it's going to happen again. It's happening right now with RoboCop.
And Rocky 5.
They leaned into Rocky 5 plenty.
Okay, fair enough.
That also wasn't a reboot. That was just a bad sequel.
Fair. I'll give you that.
Maybe keep RoboCop in mind. Maybe it's a RoboCop thing next week.
Is it?
It's so terrible. It's
Oh,
amazing.
no.
But yeah, Ghostbusters 3, that's a thing. But the other big news of the day is I didn't even know this was coming. Spider-Man Far From Home dropped its first trailer. I was literally just eating some breakfast and I got on the internet and it was just like, bam, trailer. I'm like, oh.
Oh, wow. Bam. There it is. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, overall, I think it looks really good. I have compiled my trailer breakdown.
Please.
Get ready for it. Let's start off with the biggie. Tony's dead.
Shocking.
Well, I think.
Well, was it because of how he looks at the suit or because he's wearing the black suit?
The black suit, I think, is just from S.H.I.E.L.D. But I have evidence to back this up. Early in the trailer, we see Happy Hogan bring in a novelty-sized check. On it, we have Pepper Potts' signature. This means one of two things. Or I guess three. The wedding just never happened because of whatever. The wedding never happened because he's dead. Or three, she's in one of those progressive marriages where they don't change the last names.
That's fair. That's a big check, too.
So yeah, $500,000, I think.
Yeah.
Happy Hogan also throws out the line that Peter is all alone now, which we haven't really seen him interact with any of the Avengers except for Iron Man. I mean, he did with Doctor
True.
Strange a bit. The Guardians are going to be off doing their own thing, but he's really has no connection to anyone else in this world. More evidence. We get our first mention of Uncle Ben, or at least first notice of Uncle Ben.
Yeah?
When Peter is packing, he's packing in monogrammed luggage.
I did, yes.
Yeah, that has his initials on it. So we're going to be dealing with dead mentor figures in this a bit. And then we also have him leaving the suit behind, because all we've seen from this kid so far is being Spider-Man is the greatest thing ever. So I would think something pretty big would have to happen for him to want to turn away from that at all.
And the voice, like the line there, like, I just want to go on vacation with my friends. I feel like that's from a different part of the movie. I feel like he doesn't take the suit like that, not grabbing the suit to go, because there was also some footage from an international trailer where the suit's in the suitcase.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. He's going through customs. I did more homework than you did on the Spider-Man trailer?
No. I'm going to say no.
You're probably right.
I did my full breakdown, but yeah, I'm going to say Tony's dead. We're going to be dealing with dead mentor figures in this.
That's reasonable.
We see the bodega from the last movie, and there are some newspaper clippings up on the wall saying that it had previously been destroyed in a blast, which was from the weapons the Vulture was selling. There's also some photos of Spider-Man posing with the owner in there. I couldn't tell what the paper was. I wanted to see if it was the Daily Bugle, but it's too out of focus for me to be able to tell what paper it is.
Yeah. And at that point, if you're looking at it, you're like, it's the Daily Bugle, because I'm going to convince myself it's the Daily Bugle.
I couldn't tell. When Peter gets his passport, all kinds of things on that passport. His birth date is the same date Amazing Fantasy 15 came out, first Spider-Man appearance.
The day of the week.
Yeah, August 10th.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
And also, that passport is missing that all-important thing you need on passports, years.
Oh, like
just doesn't have a year.
Oh.
The last movie got in trouble because it said 8 years later, and then that was immediately debunked as not actually being how time flows and all this weird stuff. So I feel like they're just trying to avoid any specificity with time.
That's fair.
Call that an Easter egg, or call that we just don't want to deal with this anymore.
Don't create plot holes that you don't have to create.
Yeah, the only plot hole in this is they have different passports in this world. Ones that don't have years on them. It's expiration date was July 10th. Of sometime.
Yeah.
July 10th.
July 10th of that year.
Yeah, apparently it's a 1-year passport.
Especially if every movie when you watch it says present day.
Yeah.
So is it present day yesterday, and tomorrow when I watch it again, is it still present day?
I mean, the Marvel movies have been all over the place, timeline-wise. I mean, it's still happening. Ant-Man and the Wasp Black Panther, Thor, Infinity War, none of those come out like in the right order.
No.
The early Marvel movies didn't at all. Like Thor, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, those are all happening within like a week of each other. And there's a weird overlap in there.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't come out, they came out years apart. They
Yeah,
happened in the same week.
Like Ragnarok and then Infinity War happened like concurrently.
Yeah.
Or consecutively. Sorry, concurrently
I
would be
know-
at the
I know
same
what you
time.
meant.
Yeah.
I was just going to let it slide.
Well, I needed to correct myself. I'm enough of an idiot as it is.
Amazing Spider-Man 212 is referenced to this movie. We see in a boat behind Ned, ASM 212. What happened to that issue, you may ask?
What did happen?
Well, that was the first appearance of Hydro Man.
Oh, water. I get it.
Yeah, he is what he sounds like. He's a guy that just can turn himself into water and shoot stuff as water.
Must be convenient.
And he loses every time, so there's that.
Well, no, I'll let you continue on.
We do see a water-based villain, but it may or may not be Hydro
That's what I was
Man.
going to ask.
Unclear.
Or is it a manifestation of Mysterio?
It's been stated before that this movie is going to be focusing on the elementals, which were these 4 powers, matching different elements of the world. To be fair, I don't know really anything about them. They are seldomly used. I mean seldomly, because I don't know anything about them.
Well, there was like and when I first saw it, I was like, oh, must be the Sandman.
No, that's
And
that's just
windy,
the Earth one, and then
Yeah.
we see like a fire one that kind of looks like it's surrounding a robot.
And there's a wind one and a water one.
Yeah, so it might not be Hydro Man. It feels weird to throw that Easter egg in there if it's not Hydro Man. Like, that's too specific. Maybe they could just be combining them two.
Perhaps.
They're both so minor, I don't think anyone would care. Like, no one's favorite character is Hydro Man.
Certainly better than Plant Man.
Plant Man is someone's favorite character.
Somewhere, and that's fine for them. You like what you like.
These are just the kind of smaller things. I did translate the TV at the end that has that's showing the news report of Mysterio fighting Hydro Man or maybe one of the elementals. And to be fair, what's on the screen doesn't matter at all. It's not an Easter egg, but I took the time to translate it so you can listen to it here.
Okay, please do.
A creature made of water emerges from the large canal and threatens entire city. The Mystery Man fought with the creature.
Oh.
Not an Easter egg. Doesn't give you any new information.
No.
But damn it, I translated it.
Good for you.
Thanks, Google.
Must have been a slow day.
It's Italian.
Must have been a slow day.
No, I had a good day.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I'm rich.
Are you like rich today?
No.
Are you McDonald's rich?
I mean, I should probably check with my wife ahead of time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, those are kind of the smaller things. Like you said, we get Nick Fury. I really like his entrance a lot. I like him going back to like being a spy.
Oh yeah, the blow dart. And,
Yeah, that looks badass.
Yeah. Is he gonna be okay? We should probably roll him over so he doesn't choke out his tongue.
I do like the new suits. I like the red and black. I think it looks good.
Yeah,
And then just the straight black one, which we're going to assume is some kind of stealth suit because it looks stealthy.
it does look so. Maybe it's the symbiote.
No,
Okay.
it's not. And then we get Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal. Or I think you like really pronounce like Gyllenhaal.
He's my celebrity doppelganger.
Is he?
Kind of.
Back in 2002, he was in talks to take over for Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man because he had suffered a back injury. Clearly that never happened, but now he's back in Spider-Man. He's the villain. Or is he?
I like the
He
you can't
is.
handle this.
He's definitely the villain.
Oh yeah.
Some kind of weird fake out. We've done Mysterio on the show before, but movie special effects artist who, didn't get the respect he deserves, blah, 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 wears a big fishbowl. I love that they did the fishbowl.
The fishbowl is awesome.
That's just 100% comic book accurate. And I was like, all right, cool. Mysterio has a fishbowl. I mean, reaction to the trailer is I like it.
No, I mean I was gonna go see the movie anyway, so I'm all in on it. Bring it to me.
Wait, they had Ramones in this trailer. There was Ramones in the last movie, wasn't there, in Homecoming?
Yes.
It was like, hey, ho. I forget what it was. Oh, man, I forgot what song they used in
The
this
trailer?
Yeah.
Was it I Want to Be Sedated?
I was thinking it might have been off the top of my
I
head.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, so whatever. Ramones continue. And I like the Ramones. Compared to other trailers this week that I think used Godsmack? Was that Godsmack in the Punisher trailer?
I think so.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've heard that song. I didn't do a breakdown for this one because we're never going to see the show again after it comes out in like a week. No way, is it Friday? It's going to come out this week, and then it's going to be immediately canceled because that's what's going on with the Netflix shows.
Yeah. They're gonna just dump them all and then
It looks cool as hell.
he
It looks brutal.
kills people harshly.
The Godsmack song immediately took me out of it. It was like, ugh, so angsty. Can you name me one Godsmack song?
Oh, I can name you a bunch of Godsmack
Oh man,
songs.
I couldn't anymore. I forgot.
I love Godsmack. They got some new stuff out too that's pretty good, actually. Moon Baby, Awake.
Oh, okay, I remember that. At least I remember the title.
1,000 horsepower. Crying Like a Bitch. Yeah.
Boy, I remembered Awake. I just recognized the title.
Yes. I mean, they're no Disturb. I mean, they're no trying to think of another. Oh, I wouldn't call them new metal.
They have the angst of new metal, but the hard rock sounds of regular metal.
I like them a lot.
That's fine. You can like what you like.
I do like what I like. You can't stop me.
So my only weird, they have Jigsaw, which is one of Punisher's only reoccurring villains because he just has a tendency to kill everyone. They screwed up Jigsaw's face in the finale of the last season. My only complaint is he's still way too pretty. Like, he has some scars on his face. What they did to him in that final episode is one of the most brutal things I've ever seen.
They messed him up, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, he looked like hamburger. Like, his face was already like just ruined and just bleeding from everywhere. He breaks a mirror using his face and then just scrapes the face going down the mirror into broken glass. He just has a couple scars on his cheeks. That dude shouldn't have a face.
No.
But he's still prettier than like 99% of the world, what they showed in these trailers.
Do you know that Godsmack is from Massachusetts?
I did not.
Yeah, from Amherst.
Is that what you're doing? You're just looking up Godsmack?
Mm-hmm. Some other songs. Oh, whatever. Voodoo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not the one who's so far away.
Yeah, so you can stop that.
Serenity.
Yep.
Whiskey Hangover. That was another one.
I don't remember that.
That's a really good one. They did a cover of Rocky Mountain Way by Joe Walsh.
Weird.
Yeah. Sex, hate, love, pain, or love, hate, sex, pain.
No, don't remember. Also, a chance I just never heard them. I don't know.
I'm not the one who's so far away.
I don't remember the words.
I feel the snake bite enter my veins. Do I want to be here again? And I don't remember why.
Okay.
That's what everyone who's listening to this podcast right now is saying. I think we meandered again.
Whatever the words are. All right, what else we got?
And I think we should end the show on that note.
CBS All Access is not done with Star Trek. Sure, they already have Star Trek Discovery. I think they announced another spin-off show already, and they have the Picard show coming and the animated show coming. Well, they announced another 2 Star Trek shows this week.
It's just instead of CBS All Access, it's
the Star Trek
channel. Yeah.
Like, well, the movies are done. Welcome to the Star Trek channel. There's going to be another animated show. No details were given about that. And there's also going to be a Star Trek Discovery spin-off of Michelle Yeoh's character. I mean, I watched the first 2 episodes. I remember she was in it. That's about all I remember. It's one of those things, like when that Picard show gets off the ground, I'm buying the service. So I'll just go back and watch Discovery at that point. At that point, it'll just be a little bit of a backlog, nothing crazy.
I'm going to wait till the Picard show comes out, and then I might get CBS All Access.
That's literally what I just said.
No, but I'm going to. You won't.
Oh, I will for that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel because I don't care about Netflix. I don't care about Hulu, but this releasing all these Star Trek shows. I've never watched an original movie on Hulu, or not. I'm going to say Netflix. I watch movies occasionally, but I've never watched like a Netflix original. I don't care.
I mean, I don't have Netflix anymore either, so.
Yeah. I love YouTube TV.
I am all in on the YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Such a great thing. Thank you for introducing me to that.
Now we go into our first ad.
They're not getting any money for it. It's not an ad. It's just a plug. It's an endorsement.
But yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to get CBS All Access and then the Disney one. Because also on the Disney streaming service, that was just a good transition, Lady Sif show has been announced.
A Lady Sif?
Yeah.
And the Warriors 3?
Oh, they're dead, so just her.
Good for her.
No real details have been given. It's just going to be a limited series like everything else they've announced, like the Winter Soldier Falcon one, the Scarlet Witch and Vision one, and there's going to be a Lady Sif one too. Oh, and the Loki show.
The Loki show sounds like a variety hour. Like this week on the Loki show, what to wear as you conquer Asgard.
And she wasn't in that Ragnarok movie. It wasn't intentional. That was just a scheduling conflict, but it looks like it might be to her best interest to have not been in that movie.
Yeah,
because now she's getting a TV show out of it.
And she's not dead.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't set it on Asgard because they blew up. I mean, you could have her, roaming the different realms trying to find a home or something. Or I don't want to see like Hercules in America.
No.
I've seen that.
I kind of want to go back and watch Thor Ragnarok now.
It's a good movie.
It's a very good movie.
They tried doing that with they did basically Hercules in Hercules in New York. That was the name of it. The Schwarzenegger one. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I don't think you did. You were just kind of agreeing.
I agree with you on things like that.
But I mean, they did that with the Inhumans, and that was crap. So maybe don't do that. I don't know. But I'm all for it. I like the actress. Character's good enough. She's carried her own books before, so do it.
Is Hercules in New York kind of like Street Fighter? Is it like that kind of bad? Or He-Man Masters of the Universe bad?
No. I mean, not good, but...
Is it Xena Warrior Princess bad?
I don't know.
You say you don't know what Xena is?
No, I was trying to think of an equivalent to this. Fish out of water in the big city.
Like Crocodile Dundee.
It's like Jungle to Jungle, but with Arnold.
Oh, come on. Don't Crocodile Dundee. That's a nice pull. That was with Tim Allen, right? Yes, it was. His Aboriginal son.
Of course.
Yeah. I was going to say probably more like Crocodile Dundee. That's more of the fish out of water. That's an entertaining fish out of water movie.
What else is happening this week? Oh, here's something we're being threatened with.
Yes?
A production on the next Ninja Turtles movie reboot could begin as early as this year.
Really?
They're scrapping that last universe because everyone hated it.
Well,
I mean, sure, but it's going to be through the same production company, so it's not like I have a lot of faith in that. Like, gosh, 2 swings and a miss, but please, continue to carry the reins.
yes, lead us into the future.
This franchise is becoming the Fantastic Four of comic book movies. Always terrible for no good reason. Speaking of the Fantastic Four and comic book movies,
Yes?
I set myself up.
Oh, boy.
Peyton Reed, director of Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, said that back in the 2000s he had been pitching Fantastic Four to Fox but didn't get it. He explained his pitch to be have it be a period piece and have them be in the 60s, which I've heard a lot of people kind of pitch that like it doesn't work, or antiquated, blah blah blah. I don't agree with it. You don't have to make it weird and music video and douchey like the mid-2000s ones, or the terribleness of the 90s, or the dark and brooding one that just came out a couple of years back. I don't think it's that hard of a concept, and people act like it's this out-of-date thing. It's a group of people that choose to be family. There's every kind of permutation of relationship there. There's, boyfriend and girlfriend, which becomes man and wife. You have in-laws, you have friends, you have siblings. It's a combination of just different relationships. And people are like, that's an antiquated idea. I'm like, is it? Just don't have Reed be super stuffy and you're fine.
What about Sue?
Just have her be hot.
That's easy. Come on. Settle down.
No, I mean, Sue is very much the motherly figure of that, and she's also the most powerful one.
But she's also like the most inept. Oh, Reed, please tell me why.
Yeah, that's the 60s version.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's the strongest character on there with what she does with her force fields. She'll put a little bubble around your head, take away your oxygen, push you around to the force field, go flying away, turn invisible. She's stronger than all of them.
Flame on.
Johnny should be really easy.
Get some water.
Well, he's that character. I mean, he's an archetype. Your hot-headed character. This one's very literal.
Yeah. He's literally hot.
Yeah.
On fire.
Man, and maybe he'll have a realization that maybe he shouldn't go be so hot-headed and just go off so quickly, and he'll have a moment of introspection. He has those a lot. But I don't think it's that hard of a concept. People act like it's like a married couple. That's not fun to watch. It's be fine.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
It's the Fantastic Four, not the Fantastic Two.
Those movies are no good.
All right, fair enough.
I've never seen a good Fantastic Four movie. The Incredibles.
Yes. There you
The
go.
best Fantastic Four movie out there. A little bit of comic book news.
Enthrall me.
There's going to be a new Thanos limited series coming out, going to be a 6-parter, delving into why Thanos adopted Gamora, or, stole her. Fine. I like it. Thanos is a hot commodity right now. So hot, the Infinity Gauntlet was the best-selling graphic novel of 2018.
Oh, wow.
A book that came out almost 30 years ago was the #1 seller this year.
Good for them.
Can't imagine why.
We were doing working on resumes in my class, and we wrote resumes today as a class for superheroes. And the first class I wanted to do Thanos, so we did a resume for Thanos today.
In love with death. Has a rock collection.
His email was your boy Thanos at thanos.net. That's the email they wanted.
He's really into buffing and shining armor.
They were really hung up on his furrowed chin. They thought that was a skill and an attribute that should be noted.
Scarecrow enthusiast.
Likes balance. Gets things done snappy.
But he has an inherent desire to lose.
Yeah, we glossed over that.
So that's not good.
No, we glossed over that because in your resume, you want to be a winner.
Okay. He has to turn a negative into a positive.
Yes.
That's a stupid interview question. What would you say your biggest weakness is?
My biggest weakness is my biggest strength.
I hate those questions.
Well, good thing you don't have to interview.
I know. That'd be one, if I get asked, putting up with bullshit questions. Really pandering to those around me.
Really, the question should be phrased, where's an area that you know you have what's a known area for growth?
I hate work potlucks.
What's wrong with work potlucks, dude?
Because it's always food that's been reheated. It's been sitting around for too long.
Not true.
And people just awkwardly stand there eating their small paper plates worth of stuff, and it's just a countdown to when can I leave.
I love is this a problem at your workplace?
At any workplace I've ever had. At mine, I don't care.
I love a good potluck, dude.
At my work, we have the same meal every day.
I love a good potluck. Oh, God. Crock pot foods? Give me that, yeah.
We have a salad and a thing of chickpeas. It's every day. It's a potluck for me.
Kind of want some meatballs now. Some crock pot meatballs.
You do like those.
I do love crock pot meatballs.
Well, speaking of crock pot meatballs, I guess it's time for Jared's sports reports.
Damn right.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bear bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
I only say that because whenever we watch football at your house, you always have meatballs.
I had pulled pork once.
I believe you.
Yeah, last year it was pulled pork.
What?
Way to pay attention. Yeah, for the Super Bowl, it was certainly pulled pork.
Okay.
Actually, it was pulled pork and meatballs.
There we go.
There you have at it. And speaking of, championship football season's here, fans, and the Patriots are back in the AFC title game for the 8th straight year.
And your preseason prediction might come true.
Yeah, I told you way back in the beginning. Although the Patriots are not favored in Kansas City. I think they're like a 3-point underdog, 3.5-point underdog. Interesting.
It's supposed to be cold, isn't it?
It's supposed to be like near record cold for Kansas City. It's also about the time that we're going to be getting waylaid with a snow and ice storm. Did you see the latest projection for snow this weekend?
I saw that it was happening.
From Friday through Sunday, we did the math today, 15 to 28 inches of snow over that course of those days.
I saw 16, so yeah, that falls in that realm.
That's a lot of, yes, it does fall between 15 and 26.
Well, thank God.
More on the low end, but yes.
Well, we live on the line anyway. Whenever we're looking at where we're going to fall, it's always I don't know, could be 2, could be 10.
I always get a little bit more up where I live compared to downtown.
You live 2 miles away.
But I live higher up. I live on the side of the highest point in Kennebec County.
Cool.
Oh, Tom Brady, this will be his 13th AFC Championship game appearance.
Final one.
This will be his 13th.
Well, the only reason, at that point,
out of 17 years as the starter.
Why even work anymore? I would have done the Rick Moranis and walked away a long time ago, I got my money.
So that means the Patriots have missed, when Tom Brady's been the year-long starter, they've only missed 4.
Yes, that is basic math.
That's incredible. That's an incredible run.
You're going to be a sad man when he's gone.
I don't know if I would necessarily say I'd be sad, but I think it would introduce a new dynamic to the team. There's a part of me that's
losing.
It would introduce a new dynamic, and every week's going to kind of be a mystery. The 4 weeks he was out for his suspension, that was intriguing to follow the Patriots because it's what's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo? Then Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, so then you're all of a sudden you're on to why can't I think of his name now?
I couldn't tell you.
I feel like an idiot. But they're down to their third string quarterback. Why can't I think of his name? It'll come to me at an opportune time.
Cool. When you Google it later when I'm talking?
Yes. Or I Google it now in the magic of editing. Oh, Jacoby Brissett. That was his name.
Of course.
Yes. So, yeah. And the Patriots somehow are back there against the Chiefs. The weather's going to be incredibly cold, which kind of you feel favors the Patriots. And on the other side, it's going to be...
Because aren't they going up against the young quarterbacks? Are you going to have an older
Patrick
man's
Mahomes.
arm against someone who's going to be younger and a little more spry?
Who's kind of the face of the league. And a lot of people want this to kind of be the changing of the guard in the AFC. So, I don't know. It should be a really good game. And the other one, both of these games in the regular season were absolute offensive shootouts. Great, entertaining football. Because then you have the Saints, and the Rams on the other side. When the Saints go marching in. So those 2 games should be really, really entertaining on Sunday. The Patriots playing in the later game. So you have plenty of time to shovel, snow blow. Hopefully your power doesn't go out and enjoy the game.
And then there's basketball.
Celtics are...
Nothing good is happening.
They're Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, man. It's since last week, it's been nothing but bad. Marcus Morris shoved Jaylen Brown during a timeout that was caught on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Kyrie Irving has called out the young guys about 17 different times.
The only thing consistent about this basketball team is they're inconsistent.
Yeah. Not a 3 straight losses, 3 bad losses in a row. But then they play Toronto this week. It's they try when they feel it's a good team. Oh, maybe we'll put an effort.
Yeah.
But when it's a bad team, they're
going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're not going to get home court advantage at the rate they're going.
Well, there's still some time left.
There is.
But as you said, this is the critical stretch of the season, and they've got to buckle down and bear down on that.
They've been in 5th for a while. I don't think they're going to get 3rd is the most they could hope for. But they need to get... They've been terrible on the road. They got to get home court advantage.
Yes. There's also a very strong possibility that the state of Maine will go back to 3 football classes and a 4th class, which would be an 8-man football class, a large and small school division. So really it becomes a 5-class system, but you have 3 classes of traditional 11-man and 2 classes of large and small school 8-man football.
Okay.
There you go. Those are your Jared's sports reports.
And I can't even get disappointed anymore at basketball. It's fine. They lose.
It's a long season. It's very hard to get emotionally invested in 82 games. Each of the 82 games.
And they won't get rid of... Nothing will happen by the trade deadline because they're trying to save all their assets to get Anthony Davis when they get into a bidding war with LA.
Or they could just hold out for Zion.
They're not going to get him.
You never know. They could empty the ship and get Zion Williams.
I guess that's it. Do you have anything else?
No, not really.
All right, from there, it's time for a good old-fashioned movie review. You looking at my notes?
Yes.
They'll mean nothing to you. We're going back to the first modern superhero movie, Batman, 1989, directed by Tim Burton.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
Oh, this movie is a cultural phenomenon.
This is all spoiler reviews, by the way.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it at this point. I mean, Batman wins, the Joker dies. Kim Basinger yells a lot.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's the movie.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson is awesome.
Is he?
I say yes.
I say inconsistent.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
That's a weird scene.
Yes. Anyway, continue.
I mean, this happened like when we were a hair too young to recognize the phenomenon, but we certainly saw the fallout of it. I remember how big Batman Returns was. This led to Batman the Animated Series. Batman was hot on everyone's mind. The
Batman
hottest he's
Forever.
ever been. That was a few years later.
Still.
The hype had died at that point.
It kind of popped back up.
But I mean, overall, for being the kind of like the first of the modern superhero movies, Donner's Superman is really kind of the starting point, but that was 77.
But this is like the modern, like,
Yeah.
gritty, like this was our first flawed superhero.
I loved this movie growing up into the 90s, throughout most of the 2000s. But I got to tell you, it's kind of faded for me a bit. And I've been on record.
Come on, man.
I've been on record many times of saying I don't think there's ever been a great Batman movie, live action.
Okay.
Mask of the Phantasm is great. Lego Batman movie is great. That adaptation of Dark Knight Returns is great. But all the live action ones have never quite done it for me.
I like this one a lot. I enjoy it. I also enjoy the Nolan trilogy. I really do.
The Nolan trilogy is technically very proficient in gets lucky that it has good actors in it because Christopher Nolan is not an actor's director. But they cast well.
Yes.
That movie's just, they're all too preachy.
Back to let's stop meandering and back onto this.
Whenever Batman's on screen, it's almost exclusively awesome. This movie is made up of great moments, mostly revolving around Batman, who is barely in it.
True.
But whenever he's on screen, it kicks ass. The action's a little bit light because Michael Keaton can't really move
Yeah.
at all.
That's one of the things he complained about in being in that suit is he couldn't turn his head. Going to the bathroom was a problem. His advice to Val Kilmer was make sure they put a zipper in the suit.
No, that was
George Clooney.
That was Christian Bale to Affleck.
Oh, Bale to Affleck. Make sure they have a
Yes.
zipper.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there are no shots of him getting in and out of the Batmobile because he couldn't physically do it.
Fair.
And there's this whole thing in storytelling, which I subscribe to a bit, but there is a point of abuse where you can't just give people what they want all the time. Like, there has to be build up and set up, and then when they want it the most, you pay it off. This movie, I think, waits a little too long all the time. Its pacing is its downfall. It is really boring. It's paced really bad.
Yeah, it's a series of like...
Cut out that Knox character altogether.
Oh, come on. He's cool.
There's a few minutes you could trim there.
I like Knox.
I don't like him at all.
Especially how he has just a regular paper air filter and thinks he's going to stop the toxins from getting to him.
That is true. That is a thing that happens.
Why didn't you tell me he had one of those things?
I mean, when I was watching the movie for this, I looked at the timer on the Blu-ray player. I'm like, 20 minutes into this thing, and Batman/Bruce Wayne has been in less than 2.
Exposition.
It's boring.
Exposition.
I love it whenever
World
Batman's
building.
on screen. It's awesome. It's so cool. And some of Jack Nicholson's stuff I really like. Some of it drags, but that's not his fault as much as it is the movies.
Some of granted it's the 80s, but the compositing of Batman walking across like the shadowy animated type Batman.
Oh, I like that. That feels... I don't know.
It's neat.
Feels stylized. I think that's something this movie is missing. It's like Tim Burton, but it's not quite full Tim Burton versus where Batman Returns is too much Tim Burton.
It goes in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I just wish this had a little bit more to it. It looks like a back lot where 30 people live in Gotham.
Yeah.
And they just go to that one theater all the time because that's all they could build for the set.
It also feels like the sun is never out in Gotham.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Gotham can always have a full moon and be stylized. I don't know. This is missing a little bit of it for me.
Like the sun is out very briefly in this movie.
Jack Nicholson I still think to this day has gotten the biggest payday any actor has ever gotten.
Really?
Because he took a percentage of the movie versus getting a straight
Oh, so he
check.
took points.
Yeah, so I mean, this movie's still paying him.
Yeah.
Every time someone buys it, he's getting, I don't know, a couple, I forget I wanted to say it was like 10%, but I don't quote me on that number.
Wow.
But he gets a big payday for this. It's the biggest payday of all time.
I'd buy it.
I don't know. I like him in some scenes. That weird art scene goes on way too long where they're playing a Prince song about Batman, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
Is that weird dance. there's just stuff that he does when he's just by himself. No one but him and the audience, like when he's talking to the dead bodies.
Yeah.
Even if you're evil and crazy, you're not just going to be,
Looks like Vic was a little hot under the collar.
just grinning at the camera. Or even there's just stuff that hangs a little too long. Like he has that great line, great lighting, great mood. It's like, wait till they get a load of me. And it's a great delivery.
Yeah.
And the lighting, it's fantastic. But then it just stays on him for like an extra 30 seconds. And he has this weird laugh that doesn't really match with anything else. I'm like, ooh, could have trimmed that.
Yeah.
Just left it at the delivery.
Joker here.
That's a good one.
I like when he pushes the screen back over.
That doesn't make any sense.
But it's hilarious.
It's a great gag, yeah. I'm kind of hitting the bad points. But in the score of this movie, iconic.
Oh, yeah.
And I do love a lot of the visuals. I mean, I love when he's in the Batwing and they have come out of the clouds and goes into the moon and drops
You
back
get that
down.
first look of the...
And even that whole thing, like, even thinking about the Batwing, the first thing that pops into my head is the music. I can tell you right what the music cue is there.
Yeah. But also,
Batmobile looks amazing.
What about the logo on Batman's chest? Weird, because it had the little extra things on the Batwings. Yeah.
And you don't really notice unless you're looking at a still. But yeah. The suit is mostly good. The face is a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not big into the whole sculpted rubber thing. But
I like
it
Keaton.
still looks okay.
I like Keaton as Bruce Wayne. He's like the right mix of eccentric and normal and...
It's weird. This universe, like, he's incredibly reclusive. Like, so reclusive people don't even know what he looks like.
He's like having his party and he's in his little hall of armor. It's from Japan. How do you know? Because I bought it in Japan.
Oh, here's a fun fact. Originally, they offered the role of the Joker to Robin Williams, but they only did that to entice Jack Nicholson to take it. And they were like, we're sorry, we just used you as bait.
Wow.
And then they offered him the role of the Riddler, and he refused to do it unless they apologized.
That makes sense.
So instead, we got Jim Carrey.
That sucks. It actually probably is better that way.
Something I do really like about this movie is the Batman-Joker dynamic is set up. I don't really like that he killed Bruce's parents, but you get every combination you can of the two of them going at each other. You get Bruce Wayne versus the Joker, Batman versus the Joker, Jack Napier versus Batman. I mean, you could even go back further and say Jack Napier versus a young Bruce Wayne in the alley. Like, you get every possible combination of these two guys going at each other.
You see I created you. Well, you could say you created me.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you don't get to see movies
yang,
like that.
Yeah. What about, because I did a little, the Corto Maltese stuff, right? That was like comic book accurate.
That's a reference to Dark Knight Returns, which would have just come out 3 years prior to this. Dark Knight Returns was 86. This is 89. Yeah, so, that was only a name that Frank Miller had made up 3 years prior, but yes. Beyond that, there's not really much to the comics. Batman sleeps upside down. That's weird. That would also just kill you.
Yeah. Also, it's weird that he would get with Vicky Vale and then go hang upside down.
That's really weird.
It's blood was rushing to a different head at that point.
Porkins is in this, which I always think is funny.
Yes.
Insulting name for a fat man.
It really is. Especially when he blows up in space.
That's Star Wars for those who don't remember Porkins.
Yes.
If you go, he was the fat X-Wing pilot.
He's the one who didn't fit in the X-Wing suit very well.
Ugh.
His helmet didn't fit.
It always happens in this movie. Commissioner Gordon is useless. He does nothing. I do like Michael Gough, however you pronounce it, is Alfred.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty solid.
He was the Alfred.
I mean, he's not bringing a ton to the table, but he's good and consistent, and I never feel like he gives a bad read on anything.
No, until he gets to Batman and Robin, and it just gets weird.
I tell you what, man, that movie might be bad, but boy, is it never boring.
No, there's always something happening. It's the exact opposite.
And Arnold, boy, he goes 100% on every line.
He's all in and he chews it up.
100%. You can't say that about everyone else.
No.
Billy D. Williams is in this, and that's about all you can say about Billy D.
I think his best line is like, ghosts and goblins.
But he says it also Billy D.
Oh, yeah. As he's playing craps in Bruce Wayne's house.
I don't know if he could have done the Two-Face thing, though, because he plays Harvey Dent with the idea they were going to bring him back and he was going to get to play Two-Face. But can you see Billy D. Williams doing a convincing Two-Face?
No.
I feel like he has one mode, and it's smarm. I don't think I've ever seen him do anything that wasn't smarm.
You old pirate.
Ye old. That's how you said it.
You old space pirate.
I don't know. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones is bad, but I don't know how much better Billy D. Williams would have been.
I don't know. I can't process the thought of that.
There's a music video, the Bat Dance that Prince put out.
Oh, that was the whole parade scene.
Don't look it up.
No.
The parade is weird.
I like the parade. There's a lot of...
I like the gigantic gun.
Yes, he just pulls out, and then one shot takes down the Batwing.
Like Bob the Henchman. I guess it's just a friend of Nicholson's.
But he was such a cool part of the movie. Like, it just kind of made sense.
You are my number one guy. Whatever. Sure, Bob. Why not?
Yeah.
And I like the whole Ace Chemical thing. And that's part that does look pretty, like, it has, that's all comic booky and it's weirdly stylized. Just vat of green bubbling something.
Yeah.
Transformative.
Batman just goes and blows it up.
And I think it's weird. So Vicky Vale takes all these photos of Batman. One, she lies about her weight, and then he gets real crappy about it.
Well, I mean, he's trying to like haul them away from danger.
But then they go back to the Batcave, which was a really cool scene. I like the way it's lit. It reminds me a lot of how the old Star Trek show was lit. Like, you always just get that one light going across the eyes, like you would get that with Shatner all the time. They do that. They shoot Batman the same way in this. But then he knocks her out, brings her back to her apartment. The first thing she does, it goes inside her bra. She's like, he took the film. And she's not like, he reached into my clothes
to get the film from me.
That wouldn't fly now.
You have something I want.
Unconscious.
Also, can we please talk about the fact that the very, like, obviously the suspension of disbelief has to be so high, but all of the computer stuff, the building and the general engineering of the Batcave itself, Bruce didn't do that on his own. Alfred didn't do that on his own. That's not a naturally occurring cave.
No, I think
that's a large cave to be underneath a state like that, and nobody knows about it.
I think some of the way it's been explained away is like that weird serial killer who would have different contractors come in to work on different parts of the house. I think that was the idea. Is like different people have done it at different times. They've all been given different information.
I need you to fabricate me this bat car. Don't ask questions. Just do it.
Well, he works with a guy who does that kind of stuff for him. Not that they deal with that in the movies.
Oh, okay.
And he's mute, so he can never tell.
Oh, clever.
He also probably wouldn't. They get on pretty well.
Yeah, he probably gets compensated well.
Yeah. I do think the best line in the movie is that, like, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
That was pretty funny.
So, I mean, he's also not a physical threat. I can't tell what kind of a threat the Joker is in this world.
I think it's the chaos that he induces into everything. Ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
And what if the answer is yes?
He was like, I say that to all my prey. Like, we just watched you kill a bunch of people, and you
didn't
say
it
that
to any of them.
No. You only say it when it's plot convenient.
Yeah, you just gassed the city of Gotham, and you did not make that announcement.
What do you think about that weird smile, that prosthetic smile?
Yeah, how, like, him falling into the vat of chemicals caused, like, that was what the doctor had to give him to, like, make him better.
I think he looks, I mean, normal is the wrong word, but I mean, it doesn't really bother me when he's the Joker, but when he puts on, like, the flesh-colored face paint,
that's
it's just...
I've got a new lease on life.
Disturbing to look at and just a little off-putting. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. Yeah, and there's that whole, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts scene.
And that thin brass plate would stop a bullet.
And also that you couldn't see it under his shirt.
Yeah. Or that Vicky Vale has no idea, like, she never's like, Bruce Wayne's in my apartment, got shot, left, and nobody ever, like, thinks to talk about this.
I don't understand that scene. What is that?
I think it's to create the fact that now Bruce Wayne knows that the Joker is the one who killed his parents.
But it's just, I mean, everything is weird about it. He just freaks out of nowhere. And then people always do, like, you want to get nuts? Like, the weirder part for me is what comes after. He just goes like, come on. It's just such a weird delivery.
But you kind of, like, get a callback to it in a way when Bruce actually, like, shows his strength and knocks down the door in Batman Forever when Nicole Kidman is kickboxing and he thinks she's in trouble.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that movie in a while.
Dr. Chase Meridian.
She's into leather or rubber or something. I don't know.
No.
I think she says sculpted rubber.
Something like that. Line? But she's also like, am I not your type, or do you have to be wearing skin-tight leather?
Oh, that was a reference. But we're not there yet.
Yes, that's far away.
Yeah, a ways.
Batman Forever. Batman Returns. Is it a Christmas movie?
No.
Okay. That's a surly ass look you gave me.
No, it's not.
All right. It's 10 o'clock. Let's wrap this review up.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's historically more important that it is watchable at this point.
Oh, I disagree. It's a fun Batman movie. I enjoy it. It's a good crack. It's one of the better Batman movies.
I just think it drags. It drags way too much.
I still give it a watch it.
I mean, if you haven't, yeah, but I think if you've seen it, I don't know, maybe you just live with your memories. It's probably better in your mind's eye.
No, I say watch it. It's a good piece of nostalgia. Remember why you loved it in the first place.
But I mean, I could just go watch the animated series, which really spun out of this. I'd rather do that.
That's fair. You can do that.
I don't know. It's a very important piece of movie history, phenomenon at the time, but I think it's kind of boring now.
It was a good little shot in the arm for Prince.
I guess.
No.
I don't know if these songs really did well or not.
I'm not going to look it up.
I know Michael Jackson turned down the opportunity to do it.
Well, that was foolish on his part.
Whatever.
Like he's going in, like he ever went anywhere.
I mean, at that point in his career,
He could do no wrong.
in '89, I feel like I think the wall started coming down pretty fast after that.
I don't know. He was still the king of the pop. He was still king of pop in '90s.
All right, we're moving on. Letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
After Avengers Endgame, who is going to be leading the Avengers?
Bucky.
I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, but let's, for the sake of argument, just pretend that we know that Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man probably won't be back in their current iterations. Probably. Unless they throw a bunch of money at them, and then they will be.
What about Doctor Strange?
I don't know. He's a possibility. I think he's probably a likely contender.
The Hulk?
No. Because, I mean, I think you would want someone that has actual leadership qualities. I don't think Bucky falls into that category. I think people...
It won't be Black Panther. I mean, it could. I mean,
yeah,
he's the king of Wakanda, so he has leadership qualities.
I mean, that's a strong possibility. I feel like people will want to say Captain Marvel, but I don't necessarily want to see her in that role yet because I don't want her to just show up in one movie and then just take over.
I also don't
feel
think
like it
she's
should be
an
established character.
I don't think she's going to hang around for a while afterwards. I think she's going to be gone.
I think she could take over the team in the future, but I don't think right out of the gate. Sam is a possibility. I mean, he has military training. He's not so much with the Avengers, but what we saw him doing like in the VA hospital.
Yeah.
We know that he, has initiative to kind of start his own program and has a level of compassion.
Vision?
No. He's a hot commodity. You don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he's going to laser you in the chest. Maybe he's going to lock you in a side of an apartment. Maybe he's going to get his head ripped off. Maybe he's just going to disappear for a couple of weeks to go have sex with someone. These are things he's done.
Maybe Black Widow?
She's a possibility. She'd be a good contender.
If Black Widow could do it.
Because she's been around. I mean, yeah, for as long as she's been around.
I don't know. Outside of that, I mean, I really can't think of anybody that's a major...
Not Hawkeye.
Not Hawkeye.
Not the Hulk. Not Ant-Man. Actually, have it be Ant-Man.
What about Rhodey?
I guess. I feel like he's been too background, though, to be the guy to step up.
Yeah. None of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, definitely not. I don't know. I like Black Widow.
Black Widow would be a good fit.
I think Black Widow or Falcon.
I could buy both those.
Or Black Panther.
I'm going to still stay with my first answer of Bucky.
I just think he's too off the grid to do that.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say it.
I think Doctor Strange is too much of a loner to do it.
And he's got too much going on as the master of the mystic arts.
Yeah.
And the protector of the Sanctum Sanctorum.
I'm going to say down the line, probably Captain Marvel, but in the interim, I don't know. I stand by the Black Widow, Black Panther, or Falcon option.
Okay.
That's what I say.
There you go.
I gave a lot of options.
You did.
Not Hawkeye.
No.
No one wants that.
Except for Hawkeye, maybe. He's looking for leadership. He's looking for a management position.
Ant-Man should definitely do it. That's what I actually want in my heart.
You know better.
Just walking around. He's like, what is this?
You know better.
Hey, he's led a team before.
True.
In the books. It didn't go well.
Yeah.
But, I guess that's it. Not Spider-Man. He's a small child.
Yeah. He's busy going on foreign school trips and things.
He's really sad about his mentor figures dying.
Understandably so.
I guess.
Yeah.
If you have a list of dead mentor figures, yeah, that'll probably weigh on you.
You probably don't want to be that kid's mentor.
That's also true. No.
Seems like there's a lot of turnover in that position for very bad reasons.
Yeah, don't give that kid advice.
Yeah. If he comes to you, hi, I'm Spider-Man, tell me something good that I should do. Run.
All right, I guess that'll do it for this week.
Yes, if you like the show, go to... If you like the show and want to help support us, help us by being a Patreon subscriber. Go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you this show a whole week early, plus some other Patreon-exclusive content, including Firefly spoiler and spoiler-free reviews weekly.
Well, monthly.
Monthly.
It comes out once a month. I can't say to the future, but yeah, one of those just came out this week.
Tri-weekly.
I can't. But I'm just...
Quad weekly.
It's hearsay.
Oh, monthly. And $5 you can be a Duke or Duchess of the podcast. Get your name recorded by the sound guy. Be a lot of fun. Also, you can visit the store 210 Water Street in Hollowell and all the other online forums, editorsnotecomics.com, Snapface, Chatgram, Instabook.
I mean, the website is definitely the easiest. I mean, I link out to everything from there, too.
Okay, and then just go to the website.
It's really the easy. It's my catch-all.
There you go.
I mean, I pay for it. I
Might
damn
as
well
well
should use it.
Hell yeah.
Sure, it's not the best designed website, but, some idiot did it.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to go back into it again because it took a long time.
You got to pay your web designer more money.
I have considered just paying someone to redo it.
Oh, well, there you go. You know what you should do? Find a high school kid to do it.
This is your senior project. Get college credits or something.
You know, I may know a guy.
Feel weird. Like, young boy, come here, boy.
Squire, come here, Squire.
What day is it, boy?
Oh,
And you're on Twitter.
yeah, go get the fatted goose at Junior Rich. I finally picked up on your A Christmas Carol reference.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Next week, we're back. We're doing a comic book next week.
Ooh.
One of the worst comics of all time. Oh, you're going to love it.
Super Pro?
No. This one's entertaining.
Is it
at least.
Amalgam?
No. Hey, do you like RoboCop?
Yes.
Solid movie.
Yeah.
Do you like Terminator?
Yeah. Solid movie.
Do you like Killing Humans?
No.
Well, because it's a RoboCop Terminator crossover called Kill Human, where the history of Terminator 2 is rewritten with RoboCop in it. So get ready for that.
Oh,
It's amazing.
Jesus.
It will take some twists and turns you won't see coming.
Ugh.
No way in hell. This is one of the
Why?
best, worst comics ever. We'll be back next week for Terminator RoboCop Kill Human.
Ugh.